Hello everyone, and the channel is with you in search of the best, and today I will tell you everything that is known about the House of the Dragon. Listen carefully and don't get distracted. Subscribe to the channel. I watched statistics and 94% of people watch without a subscription. It's not difficult for you to subscribe to this channel, but I will be glad. Click on the like button if you want to continue. Deadly tells readers about the Dance of the Dragons, a huge civil war that tore apart Westeros centuries before the events of Game of Thrones. Rogues, meanwhile, includes Martin's short story The Rogue Prince, or The King's Brother, also translated as The Vicious Prince, which tells of the early life, adventures, misdeeds, and marriages of Prince Daemon Targaryen, considered one of the biggest villains in the history of the world. Centuries before the events of Game of Thrones, House Targaryen, the only family of dragon lords to survive the fall of ancient Valyria, settled on Dragonstone. Official synopsis on the author's website. Fire and Blood begins with the life of the legendary Aegon the Conqueror, the very creator of the Iron Throne, and continues the story of the next generations of Targaryens who fought for power over this place until the civil war that almost destroyed their dynasty. Scene. Most of the movie drama will geographically take place in King's Landing and Dragonstone, but the battles and bloodshed will mostly find a place in the Riverlands, which belong to House Tully in Riverrun. However, some of the bloodiest battles will take place around Harrenhal and at the Lake God's Eye. What will the series be about? The Targaryen Civil War was a conflict over the birthright. The first child of a lord inherits his father's castle and lands over an older sibling, regardless of his ability to rule compared to that of a sibling. The Targaryens generally followed primogeniture, although there were exceptions, as during the reign of King Jaehaerys I. The Targaryen tree, by Reddit user u/mediocritiana. When Prince Aemon died, he was survived by his daughter Rhaenys. But King Jaehaerys I, as the new Prince of Dragonstone and heir to the throne, chose the next eldest son, Prince Balon, instead of following the custom and placing the throne in the hands of his granddaughter. This is a move that even his wife, Queen Alysanne, did not approve of. When Prince Balon, surprise, unexpectedly died, like Queen Alysanne and one of her daughters, the heartbroken Jaehaerys I convened a great council, and he chose Balon's son Viserys for succession to the throne. During his reign, Viserys recognized Rhaenyra, his daughter from his first wife, as his heir, but after the death of Viserys, his eldest son from his second wife, Aegon, ascended the throne himself, which caused an even greater split in the kingdom. By this time, Rhaenyra was also married to her uncle, the corrupt Prince Daemon Targaryen, who had long aspired to the throne himself. Fire and Blood tells about the battles between brothers and sisters, their spouses, their descendants, their followers and, most expected by the audience, the Targaryen dragons themselves. Actor cast. Casting reportedly began in July 2020, and HBO is describing the roles of Considine, Cook, Darcy, and Smith as follows, and in this episode, I will only talk about the already confirmed actors and their roles, not relying on rumors. Paddy Considine will play King Viserys Targaryen. Viserys was chosen by the Lords of Westeros as the successor to the old King Jaehaerys Targaryen at the Great Council in Harrenhal. A warm, kind, and decent person, Viserys just wants to continue building on his grandfather's legacy, but as we know in the world of Game of Thrones, good people don't necessarily make great kings. His death early in 129 marked the beginning of a great succession struggle between his eldest child Rhaenyra and his surviving son Aegon. Of particular note is the dragon of Viserys, Balerion, the Black Terror, on which King Aegon I Targaryen returned during the conquest of Westeros. Born in Valyria, Balerion was the last living dragon to see the freehold, which the Targaryens abandoned 12 years before doom. It had black scales, black wings, and even a black fire that burned so hot it melted the stone towers of Harrenhal. You've already seen its ruins in Game of Thrones when Arya Stark served as butler to Tywin Lannister. Balerion died around the age of 200 when Viserys was very young, and it's unlikely that House of the Dragon will show Bail Ryan alive unless the writers change the plot or go back in time. Olivia Cooke will play the role of Alicent Hightower. She is the daughter of Otto Hightower, Hand of the King and the most beautiful woman in the Seven Kingdoms. She grew up in the Red Keep, close to the king and his inner circle, possesses both exquisite grace and keen political insight. Emma Darcy will become Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen.